All righty. What is good, fellas? We are back. It is the time that matters most. Now, some of you guys might be kicking back this week. You got a bye week. You don't have anything to do. But this stream is dedicated to all of our 7 and 7 6 seeds out there who are trying to take down the number 3 seed, because I imagine it's you guys who are the most motivated to get a win this week. Or maybe you guys are a 3 seed, a 4 seed, or a 5 seed with a very good chance on your side of the bracket or whatever to take down the bye week team in the next round.
Speaking of a critical wildcard game, we're going to need Sammy to overcome the Kyle Pitts bomb on Thursday night. I'm rooting for you, brother. We need Canadian representation.
I apologize to you, Sammy, as the person directly responsible for you playing Kyle Pitts, because I dropped him 2 weeks ago.
So butterfly effect, if you had kept Pitts and started him, you probably would have made the playoffs, and you would have had him dropping this in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, because right now my decision in my second flex is between like DJ Moore, Shamiri DK, all these bullshit players, and I would have started Kyle Pitts over them. So maybe I'm not sorry to Sammy, because you'd be playing against him either way. It just would be me instead of Thomas that you're going up. And actually, you know what, Sammy, you got off easy, because not only would you have had to play Kyle Pitts, I also have Bijan too. So you probably would have been cooked. So you're actually welcome. You're actually welcome. Because now you only have to play Kyle Pitts instead of Bijan, Igbuka, and Kyle Pitts. You'd be down like 95 points right now if I had made the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because Sammy was going to pick you regardless. He was never going to pick the Dev Team or Avery. No. So, like, fuck.
Yeah, so you're welcome. You got off a little easier.
The Pittsing was inevitable. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to draft more of him, but every time I went to click the button, I kept thinking, "Yo, this guy kind of stinks." And I
actually, him and Kincaid, if you recall, I'm like, dude, these guys are priced appropriately now. Like, I'm in on both of them. I had 15% of both guys. I advanced 4 BBM teams with Kyle Pitts and a Hound Dog team with Kyle Pitts. So I got 5 shares of him through out of my 46, which I feel pretty good about.
One of the biggest lesson learned a tight end going forward is that unless you're elite, you're probably stinky. So why draft the top stinky option like
exactly why you should just draft 3 tight ends every single fantasy basketball draft that you ever do, because there's always going to be a guy. Everyone goes, oh, well, you need that elite tight end advantage in like the week 17. Only Trey McBride, George Kittle, Brock Bowers can put up a 40 bomb. Well, Kyle Pitts just had the best fantasy football tight end performance of all time.
So Pitts might have got himself there after Thursday night. Let me just take a look if he did. No, he actually, unless it hasn't calibrated on the site, actually, maybe. So the way tight end is this year, Trey McBride, the ultimate advantage, right? Brock Bowers, points per game wise, 15.3. I would say he's kind of
garbage,
in his own mini tier.
By the way, for where you picked him.
Sure. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like in relation to the rest of the position, nobody else is above 14 points per game. Again, maybe Kyle Pitts got there after Thursday night. I do have to check that. Because I'm just going off of what the site says.
Yeah, only Kraft averaged 14.6, but he got hurt.
This is one of the most insane stats I've ever seen.
That's crazy.
Dude, I want you to check this too. You don't have to, but what percentage of his total career points has come against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers specifically?
Well, he had a game last game. He averaged 15.5 fantasy points per game against the Buccaneers and 7.7 fantasy points per game against every other opponent in the NFL. So Kyle Pitts right now is tight end 4 in points per tight end 3. Tight end 4 in points per game, only behind Jake Ferguson, Brock Bowers, and Trey McBride among players who've played at least 10 games, because George Kittle and Tucker Kraft have played 8 games and they're both ahead of him.
Ferguson's still at 3.
Yeah. 12.8 points per game.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to me. Now with that being said, hopefully for your sake, he's able to have another big week. The thing that really concerns me in the matchup for the Cowboys that are not named Lamb and Pickens specifically is that Brian Flores blitzes 47% of the time. And as we know, Dak wants to get the ball out. Dak's going to be able to take that heat. He's going to find you in the right play. And when you got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb being those intermediate separators, I just think everything's going to be concentrated to those two guys tonight.
Sorry, how does that affect me?
Because you have Jake Ferguson on that one team.
Oh, yeah. I have Jake Ferguson in a couple best ball teams for sure. I have the Cowboys defense tonight against Badaki trying to get out of the toilet bowl. So I could go for a 9 crumbling tonight.
Yeah, that would be funny. Actually quite well. I got like a 50-50 projection in my home league right now. It's going to be tough, but if we're able to overcome Drake London being out, I'm feeling good about my chances.
Yeah, I got a 68% chance to win in my home league because Bijan dropped 34 points in our format where you get first down bonuses and it's full PPR and all that big play stuff. So feel pretty good after Thursday, what Bijan did for me.
Good spot. Flock League, we are on bye this week.
You are on bye.
I'm talking about we, like Team Danny.
Right, I know. That just maybe would imply that both of us are on bye.
Oh, fair. I am on bye this week.
Yeah, Danny is on bye. I am facing Badaki in the only toilet bowl matchup. The way it's going to work, I think we explained this poorly on Thursday, so I just want to refresh it. To be fair, the rule kind of changed, and
I was not aware
about that. But basically, how it's going to work, Danny and I were supposed to play each other in the toilet bowl first round of the matchup, but what's happening here now is that there's 3 teams on bye in the first round. Danny, Nathan, Zach, all on bye as the lowest 3 scoring creators. And me and Badaki are playing the only toilet bowl matchup this week, the loser of which advances to the next round, but gets to pick which opponent they want to go up against, whether it's Danny's team, Nathan's team, or Zach's team. And right now, I believe I'm like a 67% chance of beating Badaki after having Ibuka and Bijan go for like 40 points combined.
Since when was that the way we were doing the toilet bowl? Again, I don't care enough because I didn't have a good enough season to like care. But at the same time, why have 3 teams on bye when we can literally have an extra matchup?
Trust me, dude. My biggest problem with that whole situation was that not once when I was standing up there in Austin right before we drafted, okay, toilet bowl is going to be what this year? Like we brainstormed every rule we could, talked about everything we possibly could. The only thing that we decided on about the toilet bowl was that only the creators were going to be eligible. And then if it was an even number of teams, 2 teams would be on bye. And if it was an odd number of teams, 1 team would be on bye. And then in mid-November, Mason decides that 3 teams are now going to be on bye. So that was my issue with the whole thing because A, no one ever voted on that. And B, it definitely shouldn't be a rule made by someone who's in the playoffs.
I mean, I completely agree. Again, it is what it is. Like Nathan brought it up too. Nathan was speaking on my behalf as well, pretty much. But
yeah, you were the 2 guys that got screwed out of it because you guys would have an extra chance to get out of the Pro Bowl or the toilet bowl. If
also respectfully, us being commish is quite literally just setting up the league because nobody else wants to.
Yeah, no. Mason ultimately decided on this rule. And no one even mentioned this to me. Like as the commission of this league, I never came up with this rule. No, like there was no mention of it at all.
I legit thought that the toilet bowl was the exact same setup as last year until you mentioned to me like, no, you're on bye. I'm like, wait, what?
Exactly. And last year there was also 5 creators in the toilet bowl. Myself was the only bye week because I finished lowest in the regular season. Then there was 2 matchups in each of the first 2 weeks. Then in week 16, there was 3 people left, which means that whoever scored the highest of those 3 people, which I believe was you or Badaki. I can't remember who it was.
I beat Badaki straight up.
Okay, so then it was Badaki outscoring me and Nathan in week 16, and then me and Nathan were the last 2 teams in week 17.
Zero thought process. The thought, you know what the thought process
was that it would make it more interesting for one of us, me or Badaki, whoever loses this week, to pick their opponent. And it gives us 2 matchups next week instead of a 3-man matchup next week. I guess the thought process on Mason's part here is it's more entertaining for, let's say I beat Badaki this week because I'm projected to, Badaki to play against Danny next week and Zach to play against Nathan next week. It's more entertaining for week 16 to have 2 one-on-one matchups as opposed to 3-man matchup where the highest score gets out. That's I guess the thought process behind it, which is not a terrible thought process. But again, my issue with it was that we did not decide upon this before drafting.
It was just confusing for no reason, to be honest. It is what it is. Again, I don't care enough because either like I'm going to play a matchup regardless to get myself out of a spot and maybe
2 matchups if you need him.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. But next week specifically, instead of having to outscore 2 teams, at least I only have to outscore 1. So I guess that's the pro of it. But even still, it's like I frankly, me and Nathan were the ones that got fucked here.
Yeah, no, you definitely were, and that's why I was like, that's why I was saying like it's kind of bullshit. Why not have the creator that finished lowest in the standings after the season go to Denny's? I mean, I
think
it's
everyone to fight for something, because I think
it also makes it more entertaining for you guys, like going through the playoffs. Like, because if this was over, Zach finished the lowest. If this was over and Zach was going to Denny's, then there would only be 2 matchups to talk about this week in the Flock League vlog. So it's more entertaining for us to have more matchups. And like Danny said, you gave yourself an opportunity to like still get out of things and whatnot. It's more fun. I just wish we had clearly identified what all of this stuff is. But anyways, we can get into some questions here.
Thousands of people, but thank you for your concern, Jay Rich.
To be fair, we should be answering questions.
Correct. I will just say one last thing. It was pretty funny too, because when we were on the call, Zach was like, yeah, but like against Danny, I was under the assumption that Mason told me. That's why I started Jaden Daniels over Matthew Stafford. And I just said, Zach, you would have lost either way. You would have lost either way.
I don't think any of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is when the rules are supposed to change, it needs to happen at the draft, not midway through the season. That's just reality. Anyways, let's do some questions here.
No, you're right. Felt we had addressed that. Again, it's 11 minutes in the stream. We got time. We're good.
All right. So we got about 25 or so questions. Again, if you guys want to submit one, you can do so via the comment that is in the chat. I can post it one more time here so that everyone can see it. We will have plenty of time. If you ask a question on this stream, we will absolutely get to it. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do so. All right. Mike Dog here has his lineup set. I guess he's just wondering, hey, is there anything you would change? Obviously, Bijan is in there. Hampton over Tracy pretty easily for me. Pickens, Smitty, McConkey, Burden doesn't factor into that decision. In the flex, I guess, is the real question here. Would you play Fannin and Flowers over these guys? And I think I personally would.
Tracy versus Flowers is close, but I would probably leave as is.
Yeah. I think so. Tracy like Flowers has got a tough matchup against DJ Turner in shadow coverage, but I don't really trust Tracy fully after what I saw before the bye, where Singletary and him were kind of rotating drives. And even before that, Singletary was taking away goal line touches and stuff. They've kind of just yo-yoed the workload.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. If I felt more comfortable with the Tracy workload, this is a matchup to exploit. The thing with Flowers, and I talked about it in the wide receiver video, like he played well last week, but then you have to combine that with the fact that DJ Turner completely blanketed him 2 weeks ago. And I mean, you can't deny at this point, this guy does not score touchdowns. That's not what he does. He doesn't score touchdowns.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's consistently getting like 10 to 15 points off of points for receptions and yards and stuff. And that's more than you can say about Tyrone Tracy, because in my home league, I needed him to get like 6 points, and he scored like 3.
Dude, so, I missed the playoffs because of that in one of my leagues.
Yeah, I almost missed the playoffs because of it.
So in this league, again, keep in mind, like I drafted like Chase Brown. He wasn't good to start the year. I drafted Rashee Rice. Obviously, he was suspended. I had some injuries on this team, but like I was quietly peaking at the right time, and I ended up losing out on a playoff spot by 1 game. I outscored the 6th seed by over 100 points. I lost out on a playoff spot by 1 game. Because Devon Vele scored 24 points that week, and Tyrone Tracy scored 3. So
yeah, that's pretty crazy. What's his name? Bill is the starter.
Bill? Wow.
Yeah, and you know who just picked him up in the Flock League and who's going to play him? Me.
Perfect. I mentioned that to you. I said, yo, Loki, pick up Bill. C-Rod can miss this.
Oh. Maybe Danny's lagging for me, or maybe I'm lagging. I can't tell.
Did you not hear me?
Out for me there.
Did I lag for you guys, chat?
Yeah, I think it was you. I didn't see any thing there.
I didn't see anything either.
But yes, Chris Rodriguez officially inactive. Also looks like Rashad Bateman is officially inactive. Quentin Johnston also officially inactive as well, which is probably an upgrade to Keenan Allen. Trey Harris will probably get some more snaps than usual. Amari DiMercado is active. So that downgrades Donovan Knight, who I already probably wasn't playing anyways. And then Deebo Samuel is active. Romo Dunze said he'll play as well. So Romo Dunze,
dude. You're clearly not healthy. I don't know why he's playing, bro. He's clearly not healthy.
No, he definitely is not. I think I have a league where I'm starting Quentin Johnson that I need to take out now.
What I was saying, Corey, before you said I cut out, I had mentioned this to you earlier in the week. I said, dude, like, I would pick him up if I had a matchup, but because I have a bye, it's useless. Chris Rodriguez didn't practice, and I mentioned it to you. I'm like, yo, low-key pick up Bill, because that could be the answer to you. I didn't think everybody would leave him available until Rodriguez was
I didn't think so either. You playing with QJ out, are you playing Jalen Coker or Troy Franklin?
Troy Franklin's losing snaps to Pat Bryant.
Yeah.
I would go Coker.
I also am going to go Coker. This league, I am also up in my matchup because it is a half-point first down bonus to tight ends and a tight end premium. And guess who I had on Thursday?
Oh, God, Mr. Pitts?
Kyle Pitts dropped 50+ in this format.
Jesus.
That was funny. But anyways, yeah.
Yes, T. Higgins is out, by the way. I see.
Yeah, T. Higgins is out as well. If anybody wants to get cute and start a Yoshi Vosh or a Mike Gesicki, you could. I probably wouldn't.
I do like Gesicki, honestly. Pat Bryant is out. Yes, correct. That's a good point. I completely forgot he got labeled out. Okay, with that news though,
I got to rank Bill as well too.
That is correct, actually, Arthur. I completely forgot that Pat Bryant got ruled out. So my apologies. Now with that context, where do I want to rank Troy Franklin? I'm
probably going to start him over Coker now.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be like a fringe top 40-ish guy. I consider him very similar to, I have Xavier Worthy at 40, and if you want to start Franklin over him, I don't blame it. Again, it is still a very tough matchup, but at the same time, Denver at home. So,
would you rather start Bill or Kyle Menengai, Kareem Hunt, Kenneth Gainwell today?
So I have Bill ranked currently as my RB28. The guys right in front of him are Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle. The guys immediately behind him are Kyle Monangai, Tyrone Tracy, and Chuba Hubbard.
Okay, so the only difference is that I have Tyrone Tracy one spot ahead of him, but yeah, we're basically on the same page there.
I actually where do you have Brees ranked? I have him at the top of this tier, 24. But you can make the case he's 23 for me. I have Ken Walker. I'm going to move Ken Walker actually above him because I do think
ahead of him too.
Because the more I look at this matchup with Seattle, dude, like they're 2 touchdown favorites. Like they are going to run the football, and Darnold's probably going to attempt 17 to 20 passes.
Yeah. No, these inactives come in clutch here. Yeah. If anyone's curious, where would we start Bill? I would start him over Menengai, Kareem Hunt, Kenneth Gainwell, David Montgomery, but I wouldn't start him over Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, Devin Neal, Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift types.
So let me ask you this, home league spot. The last spot that I have on my team, I have Kyle Menengai currently in. I'm assuming you're not starting Burden or, I mean, actually that's the only option because I have London Bryant and Odunze. I'm not starting Odunze off the injury over Menengai. I can't.
No. I mean,
would you start Burden though? With Odunze active?
No, with Odunze active, I would not.
Fuck, I wish I had Drake London, dude.
Well, here, Scribbles, my other option in the Flock League, because Marvin Harrison and Alvin Kamara are out, so I'm already missing players to begin with. My other option is Shamiri DK or DJ Moore with Odunze active. Those are my other options. And to me, a running back who's going to start and get 15+ touches against the New York Giants, who are literally the worst run defense in football, is probably a better option. Even if he's like, spelled on third downs for Jeremy McNichols, which is absolutely going to happen. I still think 15+ touches from Bill outdoes whatever Shamira DK, DJ Moore we're going to give me.
You want me to keep it simple?
What?
Corey? Washington run game is bad, but you know what's worse?
The Giants run defense.
Correct.
Yeah. I also, for what it's worth, I am up in my matchup. So me starting a running back with 15+ touches is better than Shamiri DK dropping 1 point in my lineup. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would rather have Bill drop 7 points, knowing that, he got the touches and got the yards and that kind of thing. So
yes, Scribbles. It's far less pro Bill than it is.
No, it's not pro Bill. It's because I don't have Harrison and Kamara, who I traded for recently in the Flock League, and both have been fucking injured pretty much the entire time. What are the odds that Harrison has appendicitis, first of all, after I trade for him, and then when he comes back, it's like a heel injury? There's a parallel universe in which all of this Michael Wilson production and all the pass volume that this Jacoby Brissett renaissance has been directly benefited Marvin Harrison Jr., and he's like a top 5 dynasty wide receiver right now. So I'm annoyed. I don't think it's because Michael Wilson's that good. Let's be serious here.
Ooh, you want to hear something pro lad?
What?
Trent McDuffie inactive.
Yeah, I do have Lad McConkey in the Flock League too, so that actually does help me out quite a bit. Okay, let's get back to the questions here. Speaking of the Chargers,
now that context is there, I just want to ask you this. Are you going with Juwan Jennings or Ladd McConkey, knowing McDuffie's out and QJ's inactive?
I would play Ladd McConkey even before that news.
Well, I had Jennings higher, and I do like Jennings this week. He's actually one of my picks. But with that context, I will actually make that change. And I'm assuming you're going with Ken Walker over Jennings as well. Or are you going? Jennings?
That would be closer.
Yeah, those are my
Jennings there.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, let's get to some questions because we're just yapping. Wide receiver wise, Odunze's active, Pittman, Worthy, etc. QJ not active. I think I'd probably go with Pittman here. Out of these options, no London, obviously no Wilson.
I go with Pittman, but I don't like it.
I don't like starting Pittman this week, but I think you probably are. Most people are probably going to have to in most 12-man leagues. And then Rico Dowdle pretty easily going to be the flex for me there.
Yeah.
Quarterback, JJ McCarthy versus Caleb Williams. I think this is...
Got to go with the implied total of Caleb.
I got JJ McCarthy one spot higher, man. Hopes on the line and for JJ freaking McCarthy.
Well, that's part of it.
Obviously,
the matchup, like the Cowboys defense, especially against the pass, inherently worse. They've been the number one pass funnel since week 11. Like, it's objectively a very, very good matchup. The issue that I have specifically with JJ is, as we know, the thing that he struggles with most is pressure. And the Vikings interior offensive line is going to have problems with our front. That's my thing. Like, if Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark and Osa Odighizuwa impact that game early, that is how JJ McCarthy falls behind the sticks, presses, throws some boneheaded interceptions. Like, I understand the matchup is there, and it's very possible that, hey, he throws a fucking slant to Justin Jefferson. He just absolutely flambés fucking DeRon Bland on the outside. Like, yeah, that's in the range of outcomes. But can I do it over Caleb Williams in a playoff spot? I can't. Because I know how south it can go.
Pretty garbage matchup, and it's terrible weather. And this is a dome game for JJ McCarthy as well.
They're both back-end quarterback twos, am I right?
Yeah, I don't actually want to start either of them if I don't have to. Like if Sam Darnold or Marcus Mariota or somebody if Trevor Lawrence is available in your league, I would actually much rather start them.
They are currently 21 and 24 in my rankings, Caleb and JJ.
Yeah, like I have Trevor Lawrence, QB 14, Sam Darnold, QB 16, Marcus Mariota, QB 17. I would start all three of those guys over either of these options.
I have Mariota as a top 15 quarterback this week.
He's my QB 17 this week, so he's not that far off for me.
Again, we disagreed on this, but even, dude, if Jacoby Brissett's going to throw 40 plus times, he has to be over McCarthy.
No way, dude. What did I say on Thursday? Dude, I would rather start Kirk Cousins is what I said.
Kirk Cousins worked out, but like that was far more pro Kirk than anything.
Well, I liked Shadur Sanders, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and JJ McCarthy, who are the guys that are ahead of him for me.
I can't turn down.
I don't fuck with Houston on the road, man. I don't fuck with it. I don't care what his volume is.
Houston is a fucking boss, but you could throw 4 picks and still get there on 48 passes. Like that's really what I come down to with Jacoby.
You can. I just don't think they're gonna. I don't think he's gonna get 48 attempts off because he's gonna get his ass beat so bad. If he tries.
Yeah, no, the totally fair that the Houston can overwhelm their offense, but like, dude, he's been so fucking consistent.
Those 10.5 is the freest cash ever, dude. Houston's winning that game by 30 points.
Yeah. He could pull a Jalen Hurts and still score 20 fantasy points. No, literally, like the way I view Jacoby is quite literally like, he's just Jameis.
He's the new. There's a Jameis quarterback every year. Like last year, it literally was Jameis, and 2 years ago, it was Flacco with the Browns. Like there's always one of those. Just I will degaff every single play. Like 3 years ago was Minshew. Like there's always a quarterback like that. Every single year. Pittman in the flex pretty easily over Hubbard and Flournoy and some of those guys there. Cardinals money line. Yeah, there's no way. Amari and Hampton, Kyle Menengai, Devin Neal. I'd go with Amari and Hampton there.
Yeah, we'll see if Neal works into the flex.
Yeah. I'd probably go Brian Thomas over Debo.
Yeah, I would too.
Debo's coming in with an illness. I have Debo at 37 because of that. I factored it in a little bit. I'm not saying it's like outrageously factoring into my rankings, but it's factoring in a little.
Yeah, I don't have him quite that low, but he is my wide receiver. He got locked in at 30 ahead of Godwin and Evans. So like even if you said he was 32, that's where I would have had him. I do prefer him over like the Pittmans, the Addisons, the Shakirs, guys like that though.
Yeah, same. Brian Thomas there. In the flex, Devin Neal is going to be one of those. Unfortunately, he didn't play Godwin. He would have been a pretty decent play. I guess you were hoping.
Probably got to be Menengai. Cold weather.
I think I would play Debo over Menengai.
Ooh, that's close.
If you wanted to say, hey, the Bears run the ball against everybody, they're going to run the ball in this game, sure. Cleveland is the best zone rushing defense in football, like specifically against zone concepts, which between the two backs, it's like almost exclusively zone concepts that Menengai runs. So I probably wouldn't mess with Menengai this week if I don't have to. He's a guy that I would absolutely sit if you have better options. And to me, Debo is a better option.
Counterpoint, 7.5-point home favorites, cold weather game, big back for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, like that, it very easily could just work out that the Bears run the ball 40 times. Like it could easily work out. And that's how Menengai gets there. He scores 14 fantasy points because he rushed for 80 yards and a touchdown. Like very easily he gets there that way. I just think I like the upside of Debo because I think we could get a 40-yard 0 touchdown game out of Menengai.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I would go with Menengai, but I mean,
we could. Yeah, it's close. If you're listening to this, Dan, this is a close decision. Don't envy you on that one.
Yeah. If you want to go with
the ceiling play to me is Debo. I think if Debo in that game against the Giants, like he'd get loose for a big play too.
I think the ceiling's with the guy that can score 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I guess, but Debo is the guy that can score the long touchdown, which I think is more likely to happen. Against the Giants, like they stink.
I don't know if he has the juice anymore.
This is a crazy decision for Trevor here. Joe Burrow, Drake May, Lamar Jackson.
I'm not sitting Drake May this week.
But like they're all top 6 quarterbacks for me.
I'm not sitting Drake May this week under any circumstances unless you have Josh Allen. Or Matthew Stafford as well. Actually, I have Stafford too.
I actually have May ahead of Stafford, so yeah, I would go with Drake May pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, they're quarterback 2 and 3 this week.
Amari and Breece Hall and Quinshon Judkins. I have Judkins a whole tier ahead of these other 2 guys, so I would go with Judkins pretty easily here. No Jerome Ford. He's on IR. They placed him on IR on Monday, and no Dylan Sampson. He was ruled out on Friday. Like Judkins, he's got like 3 targets in back-to-back games. I think there's a possibility he has like a 5-target game in this one, in addition to a cold weather game where he could have 20+ carries. So I think we're getting workhorse Judkins today.
RF. We go through the site questions first, and then we start at the top.
Yeah, we'll do our best. We'll stop lollygagging and get through these questions, but I can't promise anything. Again, we'll
my boy in.
We can.
Put my boy in.
Christian Watson,
bro. Pass funnel Denver.
I'd probably play Amari Hampton over him, to be honest.
I would play. Dude, Watson's my wide receiver 16 this week.
I don't think Warren's outside of this conversation either.
I don't think so either. Obviously, you did well because you had Pitts at tight end. So knowing that you have Pitts at tight end too, obviously,
take the touches of the running back at that point.
I just
running back. I
love Christian Watson
at Denver against Patrick Surtain when I'm already up in my matchup. I don't want to jinx that. We got to do a Watson versus somebody bet and actually track it, because I'm going to say sitting Watson on a lot of these questions.
Yeah, I just disagree, man. He's been 20+ points in 3 or 4 games. He's clearly got that 3rd level threat for Jordan Love.
I know
Denver's been the 2nd biggest pass funnel in the last month. Teams are just not running the ball against Denver.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm taking Amari Hampton. If this was Christian Watson versus Devin Neal or something, yeah, sure, I'd be down for that. But I'm going Amari Hampton here.
I'm going Christian Watson. Agree to disagree.
So yeah, Trevor, if you're listening to this, we're a little split on that last decision.
It's RB 20 versus wide receiver 16 for me.
Yeah, it's RB. It's wide receiver 29 versus RB 18 for me. So
29 just disrespectful.
It's who it's respectful towards? The best corner in football. That's who it's respectful.
They've been playing like in the last month, dude. Teams are throwing the ball against Denver and not thinking twice.
That's fine. He's exactly the type of corner that would stop a guy like Watson. I don't fuck with it. I
disagree.
Watson.
Christian Watson's got the size and the speed to be able to separate against anybody.
Not against Surtain, dude. Not against
Surtain. He needs 3 plays to get him behind, and that's exactly what he does. And yet, I agree, Arthur, but teams are terrified to run against you guys. Teams are just not running against the Denver Broncos at all.
I also just think that game will be a very low-scoring game environment, too. And, it's going to be cold in Arrowhead. Like, Amari and Hampton's going to have 20 touches.
I like Hampton, too. I just think wide receiver 29 is too low because, when I'm looking at Christian Watson.
That's a good point as well.
Fair, Arthur, fair. But, even still, teams are just not running the football against Denver.
Well, they probably won't pass it now that they have the best corner in football back.
They got to choose something. And me likes to think when your RB1 is already coming into the game banged up and you have a game in 6 days, is probably likelier that you're going to go
at Denver. I don't fuck with at Denver ever, especially when the number one receiver is going to get shadow coverage from the best corner and reigning defensive player of the year. I don't fuck with it.
Dude, Christian Watson's been awesome. That's really what it comes down to. He's the clear number one on that team. I just think 29 is too low. Even if you don't have him at 16, I think there are
touchdown awesome, not targets awesome.
Sure. And Jordan Love's a top 4 MVP candidate in football. I think if it's fine if you don't have him at 16. There are not 28 better plays at wide receiver this week. There are not. Like, look how good he's been, dude. And Jordan Love is quite literally playing top 5 level MVP football right now.
So was Dak when you guys went to Denver, and look how that turned out.
Sure. Respectfully, I trust Matt LaFleur over any of our big game.
You heard it here first, guys. Jordan Love is better than Dak Prescott, according to Danny.
That's not what I said. I said Matt LaFleur, I trust in big games more than when I trusted us.
Okay, well, who do you want to do? Well, let's before we talk about Christian Watson this entire stream, who do you want? Point. Christian Watson versus who? Or who do you, where do you have him ranked? Sorry, I guess.
I have my wide receiver 16 this week. Like, to me,
so my wide receiver 16 is Justin Jefferson.
I have him over Jefferson.
You have him over Justin Jefferson this week.
The 8.3 point per game score since week 9.
Justin Jefferson versus Christian Watson this week.
Take your boy Zay Flowers.
I don't have Zay Flowers very high.
Where do you have him?
I have him over Christian Watson, but I have him at 25.
Where do you have him? No. We got to split the difference here. You have him at 29.
No, you can't 16, bro. You got to deal with the consequences.
You have him at 29. You got to deal with the consequences of that.
Okay, I have Jawan Jennings.
Can't be cherry picking, huh?
I have Jawan Jennings, Chris Godwin, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin over him.
Did Chris Godwin ranked above him?
I did.
Whew, that's some homerism.
No, you can't. I don't get off the hook for having him at 29 if we don't. Or sorry, you don't get off the hook for having him way too high at 16 unless we pick somebody who's ranked.
First of all, 18. Second of all, you don't get off the hook for having him way too low.
Okay,
we got to find a middle ground here.
You have him at where?
18. You have him at 29.
I am at 29. So the difference between that is 24.
Yes.
Right?
Who do you have at 24? I'll tell you who
Jacoby
I have. Jacoby
Myers.
I have Jacoby Myers at 20. Where do you have Courtland Sutton?
Courtland Sutton is after Christian Watson in my rankings.
Okay, no worries. DK Metcalf?
Terry McLaurin is 25 for me. We could do Terry McLaurin if you want.
I have Terry McLaurin ranked above Christian Watson.
Okay, Stephon Diggs is 22 for me.
I'll take Stephon Diggs all day.
Okay, Stephon Diggs versus Christian Watson. That is the official thing, and now we shut up about this.
He had 4 catches for 20 yards. Like, he got there on a touchdown. Yes,
and
I played against it. It was annoying for sure. Yeah, 2-point conversion. I mean, we both missed the playoffs.
Yeah. Who missed? Listen to the guy who missed the vlog. I mean, neither of us made the playoffs, but I missed it by less than a point, if that counts for anything. Tedero, McMillan, Woody Marks, Amarian Hampton, Rico Dowdle. I think it's got to be T-Mac here, right? Or you go and Hampton with the touches here.
A good T-Mac.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with it too.
Cal, we literally both missed the Flock League playoffs.
We did. Yeah, and feel free to just do what you want to if you don't trust our opinion. Okay. Andrew has a start 9 here, so I guess there's probably one guy. I mean, Chris Rodriguez is out, so you're going to have to play. There's no other running backs that I see listed here. I'm going to send you a voucher, Andrew, because this question's kind of goofed at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Andrew, if you're listening to this, you have another voucher that you can resubmit.
Feel free to resubmit.
This is kind of just messed up, especially with the fact that Chris Rodriguez is out. It's just all up in a blender.
Apologies. I said 16. I actually have him at 18 in regards to Watson because I forgot I had McLaurin and Devontae 16, 17 respectively.
I'm sick of hearing Mr. Flock talk about how lucky he gets as well when he trades away Cam Scatterbo and he fucking blows his ankle out a week later.
I mean, it's what it is. Some people karmically...
Sometimes you run pure. You don't have any injuries. Some people don't run pure and have a lot of injuries. That's everybody who's played fantasy football for more than a year is understanding of the fact that sometimes you just get screwed by injuries. It happens. I
do apologize.
Mason has been the opposite. He has literally not had a single starter of his go down for any single game. Not one. He had Josh Jacobs miss one game, and he had Emmanuel Wilson on his bench. That was the only time any one of his starters missed any time.
I do apologize if you guys ever draft someone next year, and I end up drafting them because they are just going to be karmically cursed. That's what happens. I trade for Justin Jefferson when he's averaging 16 points per game. Since I get him, he's an 8-point per game scorer. So,
Dude, we have no reason to say anything next year,
no,
about
no
how
doubt.
good we are at fantasy or anything. So
Yeah.
we understand the role that we're in. It's just,
you know what our role is, Corey?
What?
For one of us to stink throughout the year, and for one of us to miss the playoffs on a heartbreaker. That's what our role in the league.
That's what happened in back-to-back seasons,
back-to-back years.
Yeah, and we're gonna do the Denny, like whoever. Hopefully, it's not us, but whoever comes in last is gonna do the Denny's challenge in Austin with all of us there, and there will be a video / live stream about it. So
for sure,
there is Denny's in Guelph near where I live, but I don't want to go there.
Full transparency, neither of us have the strongest of stomachs, so we might spend a good while in Denny's if it comes to that.
Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, John. Oh yeah, right. He said this was a chopped league. So I mean, you're going Jahmyr Gibbs all day. Sorry, fucking Mozzie's on my computer right now. He's literally laying right beside me.
I saw the tail. Yeah. Shout out Mozzie Smith.
Hey, Moz.
This is just James Cook and Chase Brown,
Jamar,
Lamb. I got it. Lamb, Nico, Amonra in that order.
I have Amonra at 55 point over under. I want Amonra over Lamb.
28 implied Cowboys points. Very, 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 very aggressive.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith getting active.
He's just sitting on my lap right now.
We could capitulate on Lamb and Amonra, or I'm sure all three receivers are going to work in unless you have Chase Brown over any of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all going to work in. St. Brown to me is the best option there. I would put James Cook actually over.
Okay, we'll go Cook Lamb.
To be honest,
we'll go Cook Lamb. Cook some Lamb.
I have Collins and Rice over Lamb. But we can go with Lamb.
Dude, Brian Flores has blitzed 47% of the time this year. Lamb and Pickens are about to combine for like 200 plus yards.
You know what? I'll capitulate on Cook if you want to go with Lamb and Collins.
I'm cool with that. I also really like James Cook. If you want to get him in
the season came against the Patriots.
So the context here though, with James Cook, which is why I'm more optimistic about them, is New England's run defense has been way worse since Milton Williams got hurt. So I'm factoring that in as well. On top of that, it's a very high scoring game environment, 49.5 over under, in relation to the Houston game. I'm cool between both of them. I have James Cook as my RB5. I have Nico Collins as my wide receiver 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly how I have him ranked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll with Collins there.
Yeah. Lamb, wide receiver 4. Monroe was 6, but again, like they're all fucking close. Like they're all in the mid wide receiver.
JD here projected 30 points down, second week of round 1. Oh man. I have if you're down points, you got to go with Lamar, I think. The guy who's capable of putting up the bigger game is Lamar.
Does he have any stacking options here? I mean, he's already got Derrick Henry. If you're playing the upside card, why bet on Lamar?
Yeah, that's true.
Derrick?
Yeah, if you're playing the upside card, you go with Burrow. In that case, that's fair.
Not wrong, by the way, Jory.
Yeah, facts. Fannin versus Ferguson. I think you got to go Fannin given the injury for Ferguson.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Brian Thomas Jr. versus Ferguson, I guess, is the other part of this question.
So it's like, I think I had, let me see where I had Thomas. I think he was wide receiver 28 when I did my rankings. Wide receiver 28 versus like tight end 9. Bo?
Yeah, I think I would take Brian Thomas. I think I take the upside. The Jets, they're implied for like 25 points. The Jets are dumpster fire. They're going to possess the ball most of that game, have short fields and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, go with Brian Thomas there. Austin P here. Jackson Dart versus Brock Purdy. I'll go Jackson there, but I like both of them quite a bit this week. Kyron versus Quinshawn versus Jacobs.
Kyron's the no-brainer.
I would actually start Judkins and Kyron over Harvey in this situation.
I'm cool with that.
And then in wide receiver, I mean, you're going Lamb.
CD.
I'd go with McMillan.
Yep.
And then I can't see my screen because Mozzie's in the way.
Get over Ferguson.
He's moving his head when I try and move it. He's going like this. And then you go with Harvey. Harvey or Jacobs?
I'll probably go Harvey.
Can you sit Josh Jacobs in this crucial of a matchup, though?
Against what's been one of the most frightening run matchups while he's hampered, and they have a game in 6 days. This screams to me like 13 touches for 43 yards from scrimmage.
I think that's fair. I just wanted to pose the question because it's easier for you and I to say just sit Jacobs, but it's harder for somebody who has Josh Jacobs, who got him to the playoffs, to not play Jacobs.
The way this doesn't work out for us in saying fade Jacobs is he punches into two goal line touches. Right. I don't think he's gonna like get there because he breaks off huge plays or gets 20 plus touches.
Yeah, I'd roll with Harvey as well. I also don't want to discount the Stephon Diggs revenge game though. Also.
Yeah, I actually do like Diggs. There is concern because he's played less than 50+% of the snaps in 2 straight games, but he did have his best game against the Bills earlier this year. So close game environment. I like Diggs. I just prefer Watson, which goes back to our bet.
He also said defense for week 15. I mean, these are my number 1 and number 2 ranked defenses on the week.
Dude, you just lean you lean Seattle because Phillip Rivers hasn't played all year, right?
Yes. He's licking my face.
Yeah. The legs.
I'd go with Houston's the better defense. Seattle's the splash play defense. So it's like, do you think Phillip Rivers is going to be functional or do you think he's going to be ass?
You want to hear my tiebreaker on it?
What?
Jacoby Brissett's actually been moving the football. Phillip Rivers was moving children 3 days ago.
Facts.
Off his lap because he's a dad. And he's got like
we'll take, you had to specify that. We'll take Seattle.
Sorry. I had to.
Devon Achane versus, Devon's going to be in there. Javante's going to be in there. Yeah, he's a nice tuxedo cat.
Is that what the breed is actually called? Tuxedo? Tuxedo cat.
No, I think the color scheme of him is called.
Okay. That'd be a dope ass fucking brand, you know? I'm a tuxedo cat.
Colston Loveland, or Rondé Gadsden, or Juwan Johnson. Definitely not Gadsden. He's just been so bad lately. Yeah. Maybe you talk yourself into a more that Quentin Johnson is out. That maybe factors in. Maybe I should move him up just a little bit, but I'm not going to move him up too much higher. I would go with Loveland, but if you're worried about the weather environment and whatnot here, Juwan Johnson had like 19 fantasy points against the Carolina Panthers last time they played. That's close, man. That's close. Do you need the floor?
Stuff like close.
Do you need the floor? Go with Juwan. Do you need the ceiling? Go with Loveland. That's where it's at for me.
Yeah, they're same tier for me,
but that is close.
Yeah, they are. They're same tier for me. 10 through 14, Strange, Loveland, Waller, Goddard, and Juwan Johnson.
Not only are they same tier for me, they're 14 and 15 back to back in my rankings, and Gadsden is actually at 17 for me too. So it's very close.
I do have Loveland a little bit higher, but like you said, it just depends what you need.
In the flex, actually, I would start Juwan. So
yeah, I would too. I need to see Phillip Rivers before I mean, I had Alec Pierce at wide receiver 39, but realistically, he kind of blended into like the guys in the mid 40s. It's just a little bit concerning, man. Like we need
no
to
way
see
I would start Alec Pierce over Juwan Johnson. Not a club. No,
I go Juwan Johnson. What I'm saying though is like you want to give Pierce some benefit of the doubt because of how good he's been, but like Phillip Rivers is literally off the couch. Like, what is he going to look like?
I fear that the Colts ceiling, like they're implied for 13 points.
Yeah, they are
right now. Like the Raiders and one other team are the only teams worse. I think it's the Raiders and Jets, I think, that are the only teams implied for lower points than the Colts. Like the Browns are implied for more points at Chicago.
That's not ideal
in terrible weather. Like that's brutal. That's brutal.
Yep, not fun. Give me Jonathan.
Jay Dollar sign here. Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy, Yoshi Vosh, and Burden. With Odunze playing, I'd go with Worthy, I think.
I still have Burden ranked above Worthy, even with the knowledge that Rome Odunze was probably playing yesterday.
I can't get there, man.
Dude, he's just been the best receiver on the team.
Worthy has not been good. So I can't really defend Worthy here.
Like if Burden's been giving you better on 60% of the routes, he's been the best playing receiver on that Bears team. Sooner rather than later, he's going to be a guy who sees an uptick in his snaps. Because if he's going to keep playing this well, if DJ Moore is going to be a no-show against the Packers, if Rome Odunze is going to be affected by this foot injury, like I'm trusting the late season scaling of a rookie. And I think Luther Burden has the talent to be the number one on that team.
The one counter that I would have in favor of Worthy is that Worthy tends to get a lot of design touches and explosive plays against teams that play a lot of too high, and the Chargers play the most in the league.
Yeah, no, I don't hate Worthy,
he has a nice like 5-touch floor in this game.
I don't hate Worthy, but with that being said, that's basically what Luther Burden's been. even with like 40-50% of the snaps.
Neither of these guys are relatively safe. They're both just like you're hoping for big plays. You're hoping that they get hot.
They're volatile flexes. They're volatile flexes. That's really what they are.
Yeah,
I would still go Burden.
So Bijan put you ahead in your matchup. If you want to go with Burden because you're like, oh, he's got the better ceiling or whatever. If you want to go with Worthy because you feel like, Rome has him good too. Like, I think he's just going to be out there eating up snaps and Burden.
I do too. Like, I think it's just going to be a complete fucking decoy situation. Is Mozzie going crazy?
A little snuggle bear right now. He's snug. My hand's on my mouse and he's literally nuzzling my hand.
The cat.
All right, let me go next question. Sorry, I got to move my mouse here, buddy.
Mozzie Smith
laying on my. Ow! Don't nibble on my hand, please.
He took a little bite, eh?
No. Hungry. Where's your toy? Go get your toy.
Yeah, Brock. On the bright side, you did have to sacrifice the Colts for the Hoosiers, but you got the Mendoza Heisman and you got the 1 seed.
Yeah. Okay. This question here, it's full PPR. Kenneth Walker, Genty, Woody Marks, Terry McLaurin.
Do you have Marks or Genty higher this week with no Chubb?
I have Marks higher this week. Is Chubb out for sure?
Yeah, he got ruled out.
He got ruled out. Yeah, I think you go Marks there. And then
I moved Marks to 17, by the way.
Yeah, I should probably move him ahead of Genty because I had Genty ahead in my tier list. But now that because Chubb wasn't officially ruled out when I did it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
That's I'd play Marks over Hampton, to be honest, as well.
I would too. I moved Marks to 17. Him, like Judkins, Genty, Swift, all kind of in that area for me.
Are you going McLaurin, Walker, or Genty with the other spot?
Probably Terry.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right call.
20 targets, and he still hasn't played a game with over 70% of the snaps in the last 2 weeks. If he does see his full snap share, can keep in mind when he had that big game against Denver, Marcus Mariota was the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
also, I'd roll with McLaurin. I think Genty is too volatile given how bad the Raiders are, and Walker is too volatile given the fact that Charbonnet snipes him on the goal line there. I think the safer play is definitely McLaurin.
Yep.
Back-to-back Cobra here. Strong quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver 1. Need advice, wide receiver 2, and flex. Waddle, Wandale, Menengai, Singletary, Rodriguez. So Rodriguez is out, obviously. I think it's pretty straightforward for me. I'm just going with the receivers.
Yeah. Who's the running back option?
Menengai and Singletary.
Yeah. Go with the receivers.
I mean, Kincaid is kind of interesting too, for what it's worth. But I
can't do it over the receivers.
I would start him over the running backs though, if I had to. Like if Waddle wasn't in the question, Kincaid would be my next answer.
For sure, yeah. It'd be close between him and Menengai, but I'd probably agree.
Dink 161. No, don't Dink. Do that. Chuba Hubbard, Hunter Henry, Jalen Warren, Amari and Hampton, Tyler Warren as well.
You go with the Warren brothers here?
2 running backs, right? Warren and
Hampton.
Yeah, Warren and Hampton, or Jalen Warren and Hampton probably.
Which Warren do you prefer?
That's close. I mean, I just don't like the Colt. If I don't
have to move Warren
an
down
Indianapolis Colt today, I don't want to. Honestly, I would start Harold Bannon over Tyler Warren. I would start.
I moved Warren down.
Yeah, I have Tyler Warren at tight end 8.
Yeah, that's where I moved him down
Pitts
to.
Locked in at 9 for me. So, I would start Kincaid, Fannin, Ferguson, Kelsey all over Tyler Warren this week, just because I don't trust Phillip Rivers. Maybe he's going to be a Cinderella story. I just don't like it.
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
If you guys want to get the like numbers up, if we get to 60 likes or whatever, we'll give out some free questions. We're gonna have plenty of time to get into some free questions, I think, as well, because I don't know how many questions we currently have at the moment, but I know it's not going to take us the rest of the stream to answer them, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check.
Let me see if there's anything.
How many questions?
Bateman inactive, by the way, for Flowers.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the inactives part. But yeah, I'd go with Jalen Warren there of the 2 options. Plus, you get a little money. Do you ever do this? Maybe I'm stupid, but sometimes I do like to tie break to players who are playing later, so that you what you need and stuff. Yeah, if that makes any sense. When you're oh, do I go with Jalen Warren or a guy that plays at 1 p.m.? It's it's kind of nice knowing you have another bullet on Monday that you could use to win the matchup.
Yeah,
I just gotta I gotta.
No, you're good.
Really quick. But yeah, that's something that I factor in if it's a true toss up sometimes, where I'm like, yeah, I kind of want the extra like sweat, even though Monday Night Football has been horrendous to me this year in the flock. For what it's worth, in the flock league, it's been bad to me, but it's been fine in other platforms and formats.
By the way, Jake Ferguson this year is averaging less yards per reception than 38-year-old Jason Witten did.
It's pretty bad. But yeah, so Amari Hampton and Jalen Warren were the two that we were going to go with. Drew 2 Honcho here. I need help with my playoff lineup, please. We got you. We got about 25 questions. So the questions have pretty much been replenishing themselves as we've gone. So maybe we will not have time to give more. Yes, wait until the evening slate to lose, indeed. Trevion Henderson versus Hampton and those guys. Henderson's my first option there. I would go with Hampton over Genty. Are you on the same page there?
They're back to back. I mean,
the workload Genty definitely favors Genty. It's just the Raiders are such an utter dumpster fire that I don't want to start Raiders if I don't have to.
I like Genty because we also have to consider the Eagles' complete collapse risk here. It defies rational thinking, but I've seen the Eagles do this shit before. Yeah, they're 14-point favorites. Yeah, on the market, on paper, they should blow out the Las Vegas Raiders. But that's what makes football so enthusing, because you can see a team when they're in a favorable spot. How do they respond? Do the Eagles actually play good football, or do they play down to the Raiders today? On top of that, Genty's been getting a significant receiving workload. Again, I don't have him completely high because obviously the game script is a factor here.
Yeah, but he's had 4+ targets in every game since the bye.
It's RB19 versus RB20 in my rankings.
Yeah, I do have 17 and 19 in my rankings, so they're close for me. I like the upside of that Chargers-Chiefs game being a good old-fashioned run the football kind of game, and Hampton has 20 touches. Because if you give Hampton 80% of Genty's workload, I would rather play Hampton.
Yep, sounds good.
Terry McLaurin, Flowers, Godwin. I'll go with Terry there. It's pretty close, but now that Bateman's out, that helps Flowers a little bit, but I don't love that ultimately, that matchup against DJ Turner. At tight end, it looks like you're going with Warren. In the flex, you going Flowers or Genty? I think I'd probably go Genty.
Genty, yeah.
Also, close, shout out Cheeky. I mean, if you're like, hey, that game's going to shoot out, Flowers is going to have a lot of targets and stuff, sure. But DJ Turner wiped him off the face of the earth the last time they played the Bengals. So
appreciate you, Cheeky, brother. It means a lot, man. It means a lot.
Yes, sir.
Shout out seeing you in Austin as well.
Yeah, we do always see you in Austin. Chase Brown, Amari Hampton, Devin Neal, Aaron Jones. Definitely Chase Brown by a country mile. Michael Wilson, T-Mac, Jennings. You have Michael Wilson over T-Mac?
Yeah, it goes back to the thing with Brissett. The reason why I can't lower him in my rankings is that he just has so much volume. Michael Wilson, is he the wide receiver 1 of all time when Marvin Harrison Jr. is not on the field? Obviously, this is a joke, but if you look at the stats, the guy has gotten 15+ targets in each and every game. I don't care if Houston is the literal fucking Legion of Boom, and they probably might be at this point. That's how good that defense is. Dog, like, it's just way too much volume for anyone to fail.
Yeah, no, it is, truly. Oh, also, Brock, yes, I will do that deal. Sent me a 3 and a 4 for Kamani Vidal.
Oh, fair enough.
A league where I'm already out of the playoffs, so.
No flocking?
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
We'll take that. Good deal.
Brock also is the other wild card matchup in the listener league, by the way. He is playing Diener, and I am playing Flett, who got a head start with Mr. God.
Kyle Pitts?
Mr. Godwin.
Oh, Godwin. I see. Yeah, he was texting me during that, and he's like, I'm sick, dude. Because he texted me during the day, and he was like, who do you like better, Evans or Godwin tonight? And I was like, probably Godwin. I don't know if Evans is going to be on a pitch count or something, and it looked bad for a second there because Evans had like 15 points and Godwin had like 2.
Thank you for telling him not to start Evans against me, though. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the point discrepancy was that big, though, was it?
I mean, it was like 6
5 points or something.
6 points. I'll take it in a very close projected matchup, though.
Yeah,
it could have been worse. It was
Michael
annoying.
Wilson, T-Mac, and Jennings. I actually have Tedderone McMillan 1 spot higher for the sole fact that, again, as I keep saying, I don't want to fuck with Houston on the road. And Derek Stingley is expected to shadow cover Michael Wilson.
I understand it. The thing that I have, though,
still wide receiver 15 in my rankings for what it's worth. I just have T-Mac higher.
The thing that I have, though, it's funny enough, by the way, I think T-Mac's my 15. How else is fucking Arizona going to move the football?
I don't
Like
know.
they're not just
before we even have this
yards.
discussion, are they the two answers to this question? Are you starting the other one over Hampton, Jennings, Neal, and Aaron Jones?
Yeah,
so we don't even have to have this conversation.
Yeah, no, fair. We probably shouldn't like spend a lot on it, but like,
yeah.
What I come back to with Arizona, they're not going to run the football against Houston. They can't run the football. They don't run the football against anybody.
Danny, the answer to the question that you're posing is that they might score 3 points.
They might score 3 points, but it's not like they're going to get blanked for under 150 total yards from scrimmage.
I don't think that's almost impossible can keep this up forever, dude. Where he's just ripping fucking 300-yard.
They're not going to run the football though. Like
I know that.
So this was a stat from Hayden. Shout out Hayden. Here, I got to scroll in a little bit because it's a little bit blurry of an image. I do apologize. Okay. So in terms of pass rate over expectation, neutral pass rate, weeks 11 through 14, the last month of the year, the number 2 team in neutral pass rate has been the Denver Broncos at a 61% neutral pass rate. The number 1 team, I'm sure you guessed it.
The Cardinals are probably like 75%.
Cardinals are at 68%. The same discrepancy between them and number 2 is the same discrepancy between number 2 versus like number 10. Like it's just, it's so vast. They are very clearly the number 1 pass reliant team in the league right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Kenneth Walker versus Devin Neal, I guess is the question here.
I have Neal 1 spot higher, but I have
both. Walker 2 spots higher. There's 3 flexes. They're probably both going to get in.
Yeah. They're both top 24 plays. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'll put Walker in for now, but yeah, they're probably both getting in. Hunter Henry versus Gesicki and Taylor. I prefer Hunter Henry as much.
Give me Gesicki with the weather.
Really, eh?
I like Hunter Henry.
You mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, dude.
It might be some snow though. They're both similar. They're both wide receiver 15 and 17 for me. Honestly, what it comes down to is I think Mike Gesicki without T. Higgins might have another blow up week in the game environment that they have in
he could Baltimore. Yeah, I just Hunter Henry's got basically 60 yards receiving per game this year. Like he's been pretty consistently involved in that offense, so I'd roll with Hunter Henry.
He's good. I just think personally, I'm willing to accept a lower floor at tight end if I know the evidence spike week ceiling is there in a playoff matchup.
Yeah, and I think the Patriots and Bills could certainly shoot out.
I just think Gesicki's got the highest ceiling, but I'm fine with it. They're both mid. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get in anyway, so it doesn't matter. Devin Neal in the flex here, unless you're starting. So call me crazy here. I like Jordan Addison this week, man. I think in that game environment and in a dome, JJ probably going to be able to get something done through the air. I don't mind Jordan Addison at all this week. I
can't overburden just how both of them have played.
Maybe, but I would do it. I know it's conventional wisdom not to do it, but I do have Addison ranked higher.
It's easy to be optimistic against the Vikings until you have to watch the Vikings and realize just how pessimistic it is.
I know. I get that.
Dude, I said the same thing against Washington last week, and both these guys.
Let me ask you this: are they both just the answer, or are you going to play Gesicki over one of them? There's 2 flexes.
I would go with Burden and Gesicki. If you want to go with both receivers, I can capitulate to that.
I would go with both receivers personally. Okay. I think Fant's enough of a pest to sketch me out a little bit. I have to piss in the worst way possible. Yeah. So if you want to just answer some comments or something for the second, I will just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, it's far more pro Watson than anti Denver. Obviously, Denver's a tough matchup, but they have been more of a pass funnel. And it's more so the fact that Christian Watson's legitimately scored 20 plus points in 3 of his last 4 weeks. That's really what it is with Watson. It's far more pro Watson than anything. Here, I'll answer some of the, the comments in here. If you're at the top here, by the way, appreciate that, Brock. Shout out Stanny. You were the first start sit comment that we got left here. 4 passing touchdown lead. I would go with Drake May over Trevor Lawrence in terms of the flex. Jacoby, Kenneth Walker, Tracy. It's a half PPR with 6-point rushing touchdown and receiving touchdown. Okay. Half PPR makes it close between Ken Walker and Jacoby Myers. And a half PPR, I might actually lean Ken Walker, knowing the touchdown upside as a 14-point favorite at home. Winter break also just started. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Full PPR, Jackson Dart or Jalen Hurts. 2 running backs, 1 flex. Harvey, Judkins, Dowdle, Neal, Tracy, Michael Wilson. I'm starting the Texans defense. Sorry, I'm reading through it. Harvey's definitely going to be one of those running backs. You're probably going Judkins with the other, and you're going with Michael Wilson in the flex there. Hunter Henry or Loveland, Burden or Slayton. I personally would prefer Loveland, and I would prefer Burden by a hair. But if you don't want to start both Bears, I would prefer to go Loveland and Slayton. But again, very close comment. Very good question. Shout out Nate, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, first year out of the FSC playoffs feels bad. No, I do feel for you, and I'm sure you will be back. Shout out Nate. I have had some very, very close, very competitive championship games against them in the last couple of years. Achan, Woody Marks, or Hampton pick 2. I mean, Achan shouldn't even be in this comment, quite frankly. He's fully ready to go. He is a top 3 to 5 running back this week, so he's not in these guys here. In terms of Woody Marks versus Hampton, without Nick Chubb, I would go with Woody.
Yeah, sorry, I went and grabbed a Tylenol as well. I'm like, if you guys saw me on Thursday, I had like so much, like my eyes were completely red and shit. So I got all the nose stuff on Thursday. But today and yesterday, I've just been so like fevery. So I'm just like popping Tylenols right now.
What league is, or what? I'm about to accept our trade in our league. Want to make sure you are able to set your lineup properly. What trade? Sorry. Oh, Darnold versus Stafford. Okay. Yeah. Let me know. I completely forgot I sent that, but yeah, no, I'm still down to do it if you're down.
Okay.
Also, I just realized I sacked Kirk Cousins. Fuck.
Sucks.
Yeah. I remember now. Yeah, I'm totally fine. If you want to do that, I can push it through.
Okay, this question here from BK, I think it's pretty cut and dry that he has the right lineup set. I guess the only decision point maybe would be, do you start Burden or even Isaiah Likely over Flowers in the flex? But I think you're probably still rolling with Flowers there.
Yeah, sorry, I would have sent a time limit on all of my offers. I learned a hard lesson as to not doing that. But if you want to resend it, yeah, I can totally do this right now. Bush knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. Goff, Mariota, or Trevor Lawrence, can't decide who to flex. So at quarterback, I would go with Goff. It's a 55-point over-under. That's my only rationale behind it, is that I just want access to that game environment if it shoots out, and I think it will. So as much as I like Mariota and Lawrence as good streamers, I just can't sit Goff. And you said, who do I flex? So you're between Jefferson. I mean, I have Jefferson over Jawan Jennings, so it's between Jawan Jennings and Trevion Henderson, which I would play Trevion Henderson.
Yeah, all day.
And I'm assuming you would also play Jefferson over Jennings.
Yeah, I would.
I know Jefferson hasn't been great, and that's an understatement. But against the Cowboys, I mean, like, I don't see how he doesn't have at least 10 targets.
I said that exact same thing against a worse defense in Washington last week, and he had 4 yards. So
you're right.
It can happen.
Right. You want to play Jennings? If your gut's telling you to play, and also like just blanket statement in general, whatever your gut says today, make sure you do it. If we give you the wrong decision and your gut told you it was the wrong decision, do not listen to us. I'm telling you right now, the gut.
Don't blame us for going against your gut.
Exactly. Your own gut is going to, it's an easier pill to swallow when you go with your own gut and you go, it didn't work out. My gut, I remember against Mason, told me to start Kenneth Walker over Kamani Vidal, and it didn't work out. And I had no one to blame but myself. I didn't just go like, oh, fuck, sucks. No. My gut told me that Walker was going to have a good game. He needed not. So go with your gut.
Dog, if you think Kenny Gainwell is going to score 4 touchdowns today, fucking put him in your lineup. Like that's
impossible considering he plays tomorrow. But yeah,
you know what I mean. Fuck.
Yeah, I have to play him actually in my home league because I have T Higgins and he's out. So
yeah,
he's kind of been the GOAT in my flex for the last couple of days or last couple of weeks.
Also, for reference, you saw me and Ralph made a deal. It's in our Flock and Right League. So I got a playoff matchup against Carbonator this week. Unfortunately, Bucky Irving didn't do too well. And even though I have a very, very deep set of quarterbacks, at the same time, like Brissett, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold.
Framed on this deal, bro.
What?
Sam Darnold's like a top 20 quarterback for me in my Dynasty rankings now.
Have you seen my depth at quarterback in this league? I need to win this week.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
I was starting Brissett.
If you win, sure. I just Matthew Stafford might retire this year. I wouldn't have probably done that personally.
I genuinely don't disagree, but my other quarterbacks are quite literally like I have Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers, fucking Trevor Lawrence, and Kirk Cousins on my team.
True.
Like I have 6 starting quarterbacks.
Do you want another piece for your flex that can help you win?
Depends on who it is.
2x tight end premium, and Travis Kelce's just sitting on my team right now, and I don't need that much for him, but he's like going to probably score 16 to 20 points per game the rest of the season because it's a 2x tight end premium.
Completely depends on what the offer is, my friend. If it's like Pat
I'd
Bryant
be
and a
looking
piece,
for young players,
like
picks, Devies, whatever. So,
yeah, I mean, not sure.
I'll take a look at your team on the My Teams page quick.
Big pain though. I did have Kirk Cousins on the bench.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You weren't going to start him over Darnold though.
No. But I have Matthew Stafford and Dak this week though, and those are.
Give me Josh Downs. I'll give you Kelce plus something else to help you win this week.
What is the plus? Let me take a look.
I don't know. What else do I got? I mean, I'll do it straight up too if you want to do that.
I mean, if I can get a plus, I would prefer doing it with a plus.
Well, I don't think. Hold on. Do I have anything else that would interest you? I mean, like a Singletary or a Vidal.
Probably want someone with like implied upside if I were to do it. Singletary, Vidal, nah. Sorry, I'm just taking a look. What about Tracy?
If I'm not giving you Tracy as a throw in there on. I don't want Downs that much.
Fair.
If I give you Tracy and Kelce, if you give me Downs plus a Devy player or like draft capital, I would do that. I'll do Kelce plus Vidal or Singletary for Downs if you want to do that.
I don't really have interest in Vidal or Singletary.
Right, but Kelce's the piece that you're acquiring mainly.
If I did something like that, I honestly would prefer Jawan to either of them. To be honest, like I would do Jawan and Kelce. No, I would do Jawan and Kelce instead of like Vidal or Singletary, just because like I would rather either a startable option or a blind upside, and I just don't really view it with Singletary and Vidal right now.
Sorry, Jawan. You want
Jawan plus Kelce? Instead of Vidal, you have Jawan.
Oh, Jawan Johnson. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Jawan Jennings.
No. Jawan Johnson and Kelce. Jawan instead of those two running backs.
Okay, I'll do Jawan Johnson and Kelce if you give me Downs and like a rookie second. It's depleted. It's a Devy draft.
I would do that if I had a rookie second.
Okay. What about like your last round Devy startup pick next year? Whatever your lowest pick is.
I can't give a Devy pick for this. I could throw in fucking... Do I have any fucking young piece?
No, you don't.
Fuck.
I mean, if you want to get heat with it, I could also give you somebody like really solid plus Kelce for Hunter.
No.
Like somebody who you can play.
Like who?
Well, the only one that fits in there is Flowers or Metcalf.
Yeah. And respectfully, you might fucking balk when I say this. If I'm moving Hunter, I would quite literally need Trey McBride. That's where nobody's going to give me that, which is why I'm keeping Hunter.
Trey McBride in this format, 2x tight end premium, might be a top 5 pick.
Well, I'd be willing to add to Hunter. Don't get me wrong, but like at the same time, it's like that would be the caliber of lineup player I would need to feel comfortable dealing him. Which again, it's probably not going to happen. But
anyways, if you want to do Kelce and one of those running backs for Downs to help you this week, I'm open to doing that. Ferguson or Strange this week? Who do you have higher?
Strange.
I think I have Ferguson higher personally.
I don't want to mess with the calf.
They're in the same,
I just don't want to mess with the calf.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're like almost back to back.
They're back to back, yeah. And also, for what it's worth, if anybody's wanting to get their question answered, they can start a 7-day free trial on the site. All of our rankings are up to date as well. It won't cost you anything to start a 7-day free trial if you're waiting for a question to get answered in the chat. Like I can't promise we'll get to chat questions. Like we are getting questions pretty much as quickly as they come in, or as we can answer them, they're coming in. So I can't promise you guys that we'll get to your question that you left, at 12:05 p.m. in the chat or whatever, as much as we appreciate you guys joining the stream. Jackson Dart versus Matthew Stafford. I would go with Stafford. Kenneth Gainwell, Trevion Henderson, Judkins, Genty. I'd go Henderson and Judkins there of those two options.
If you give me Algier, I'll do it instead of Vidal or Singletary. Because I would want implied upside. And unless I'm putting someone into my lineup.
I like Algier for long term. We talked about him in the stashes video. I like him long term.
Fair. Spears?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's
I
probably
to
not
me,
going to
dude,
happen.
I'm offering you a 16 point per game producer this season.
Yeah,
I think it's enough
for
to
sure.
do that straight up for Downs, who is a completely unusable
Yeah,
fantasy asset right now.
I mean, at the same time, though, it's fucking
I'm
10
like, I'm
years of
throwing in
difference.
Singletary and Vidal to be nice, to be honest, because
Um,
Vidal and Singletary are implied upside plays. They're just not as good of implied upside as Algier is.
um,
Um,
yeah, it's kind of gross.
Adams, Rice, Olave, Pickens. Holy shit! How do you possibly have this decision? I'd probably go Rice because you're already starting Puka. Yeah, I think I'd probably go Rice there. Ooh, man, this is tough. Are you going with Adams, Pickens, or Olave, knowing that you're already starting Puka? Does that factor in? Or you just starting Adams and Puka?
I have Pickens higher.
You have Pickens higher than Puka than Adams?
They're back to back. If you want to capitulate because you have 2 Rams.
Yeah, that's close. That's close, man. That's right. I think I would just rather have the exposure to the game environment. I don't have Pickens higher, so I'd probably go with they're back to back. I have them 8 and 9, but I think I want the 55 point over under game and the implied 30 point total for the Rams. Even if I'm starting both the receivers, I think I want.
Well, I mean, the Cowboys are implied for 28 this week at home in a dome. It's close. They're back to back in my rankings. Like they both have incredible ceilings. It's just if you're starting Buka, I would go with Pickens for sure.
Yeah, that's close, man. That's close. I'd probably roll with Adams and Tyler or Tyler. I've never called you that. Flet. If you want Kelsey, feel free to send me something over. Young players picks.
Would you do B-Rob instead of Singletary or Vidal?
No.
Yeah, like I can't do Singletary or Vidal.
Again, to me, Kelsey for Downs is useless right now. Useless. Like,
yeah, I'm not starting him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Downs is useless. So I'm taking a useless player off your roster and giving you an every week starter for the rest of the playoffs who averages 16 points per game and a 2x tight end premium. That is absolutely worth a guy like Josh Downs, in my opinion.
He's going to play 1 year and then I'm going to lose Downs for nothing.
Not for sure. He can play next year.
Let's be real. He's fucking retiring.
Diggs, Woody Marks. This one's straight. This one's like super easy. I don't even have to consult you on it. I know exactly you would pick the same guys too. Yeah, it was Michael Wilson, Tedero McMillan, Diggs, and Woody Marks over Jordan Addison and the rest of these players. Pretty straightforward for Ralph there. Jay Moose, Andrews, Kincaid, or Likely, and Strange is available. I have Kincaid the highest of this group, but you also have Warren on your roster. So I don't know what's going on here. If you have Warren, I mean, I actually have Kincaid ahead of Warren, so I would play Kincaid over Warren. But if you want to just be like, I don't want to, take up an extra roster spot, I'm just going to play Warren. You could go ahead and do that. Harvey and Judkins pretty straight. Oh, actually, sorry. Judkins over Harvey, and then
I have Harvey
Jefferson,
over Judkins.
AJ Brown, Tedero McMillan. I'd probably go AJ here.
I have Harvey over Judkins, but I have
you might get
Brown the highest receiver. Anyway. Brown the highest receiver, along with Rice.
Okay, so it's Jefferson versus, I guess technically versus Harvey and Judkins, because I have Judkins like way higher than Harvey. I have him like 5 spots higher.
Yeah, I have Harvey a little bit higher. Him versus T-Mac would be the discussion for me.
I'd probably go. I'd probably go with Harvey if you want to go with that. I actually have Jefferson and T-Mac really close too, for what it's worth.
Yeah, I know. I just have Jefferson a lot lower than you until you actually want to.
That's totally fair. There's no reason why anyone should have Jefferson high with the way he's played.
It's a lot more like I don't know how he's this bad. He hasn't crossed more than 65 yards since week 8.
I can't possibly defend my Justin Jefferson of wide receiver 16 ranking any easier than the only reason I'm ranking him here is because he's fucking Justin Jefferson. And it's a good matchup in a dome against the Cowboys, which is theoretically something that should help him, but it hasn't.
You want to hear something disgusting, by the way?
What?
So Jefferson, since I've acquired him, what is that? 5.5, 14.3, 25.4, 33.1, 49.8 fantasy points since week 9.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Puka had over 35 on his own last week.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kyle Pitts scored that pretty much by himself on Thursday.
Yeah, but Kyle Pitts on Thursday outscored what Justin Jefferson has done for me since I got him.
That's crazy. But yeah, I'd roll with RJ Harvey there, Jay Moose. That's pretty close though. Likely and Strange available, he said. So Aaron Jones is probably your best option here, I think, right?
I agree.
If Rodriguez were playing, maybe that'd be a conversation.
Yeah,
Tyler Warren, a tight end. And then in the flex, he said that Likely and Strange are available. I'd actually rather play Strange in the flex than any of these options, to be honest.
Who would you drop, though?
Probably Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah.
If you don't want to play Strange, you don't want to drop anybody, whatever, I'd probably play Rome. But I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I probably would too, but God, that just.
But I'll put Rome in for now. But Jay Moose, if you're listening to this, I would pick up Strange. And if you got to drop Chris Rodriguez or even Singletary to do it, I'd be fine with it.
Dude, Rome just screams 2 catches for 13 yards today.
I would love to throw Jaden Reed out there too for what it's worth, but I got to see one more game of him getting ramped up. Most of the fantasy docs I've seen say this is like a 2 to 3 game ramp up the injury that he's dealing with. So I don't really trust him this week, even though I do think he's a stash and a hold for the next 2 games. Kenneth Walker, Amari Hampton, Travis Etienne. I have Travis Etienne, the highest of that group. AJ Brown, Diggs, Jefferson, Smitty. I'd roll with AJ Brown. And personally, I would go with Justin Jefferson over Smith and Diggs. I don't know if you share that same opinion. You definitely don't with Watson. I know that.
Hell no. I'd go Watson.
Is Watson your number 2 here? Or do you got Smith or
Smith, Watson, Jefferson? That order for my ranking.
Okay, so for what it's worth, he is starting AJ Brown already.
If you want to go with Watson over Smith because of that, I don't hate that.
Okay, and then my opinion would be if you want to go with Jefferson over Smith, I wouldn't hate that because I have Jefferson ranked the second highest of this group. In the flex, I would not be able to sit Smith though. I think that would be where I'm at with it, unless you wanted to go Hampton or something. Or even Diggs. This is tough because you have so many guys that are relatively in the same range.
Yeah. I mean, I would go with Watson and Smith, but if you don't want to start both the Eagles, just go Watson and Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, Watson and Jefferson. You could definitely go with that. I would go with Jefferson, Smith in the flexes. If you don't want to start 2 Eagles, I would go with Jefferson and Hampton probably. But
with respect, Corey, I can't rank Justin Jefferson above Christian Watson when Christian Watson last week has outscored the last 3 games of Justin Jefferson. I can't.
Yeah.
It's like when you have Justin Jefferson, you'll understand that, like, oh yeah, sure, regression to the mean. He's gonna he hasn't fucking figured it out.
No, he hasn't. You're right. I know that. I know that.
It's so frustrating. Trust me.
I just because I'm not. Well, I guess I am a Jefferson manager in the listener league, and I'm on bye this week. I think this will be the game in which Justin Jefferson gets back on track. He's too good. He's too good to be like this.
I've said this for the last 4 games.
Sure.
Dude.
That's fine. I just think this is the game that you're going to want to play Jefferson. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm nuts. This is, to me, Sunday Night Football in a dome against the Cowboys. It's an easy matchup. I'm playing Justin Jefferson.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy. In an ideal world, that's what it would be. You want to say Justin Jefferson, good player, going to take care of good matchup. That didn't happen last week, and it hasn't.
It didn't,
happened.
but he also it was so fluky. All the touchdowns were to like tight ends.
Dude,
is Josh Oliver and fucking TJ Hawkinson going to score all the touchdowns again?
Probably. Jefferson has 2 this year.
I mean, probably not going to be Jefferson, but I'm a JJ manager too. I have him in the listener league. Thankfully I'm on bye, so this doesn't affect me this week, but I think he's going to be fine. Not a wide receiver 1 or a top 12 guy, but I think he's going to be a wide receiver 2 the rest of the year.
Until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. Sorry.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
Like 15 yards in the last 2 games. Fucking, what are we?
You want to play Christian Watson over him? Don't blame you. I'm not going to.
It's just like if Watson's actually playing well, is attached to a much better offense, and is scoring the way he has, I just don't see a world where I start Jefferson.
And to be fair, if I didn't go with Jefferson there, I would go with Amari and Hampton, not Christian Watson.
I just don't see it, man.
How's the Jefferson owner have a buy? I didn't draft him. That's how I traded for him. Danny drafted him. But for what it's worth, you're the 3 seed, so
I'm the 3 seed. And it's funny because I mentioned this on our other thing, but our trade, every time we look at it, looks like somebody else won the deal.
Yeah, no, I traded Danny, Drake London, Chris Olave, and Travis Hunter. Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Drake London, Chris Olave, and was Chris Olave not a part of our deal? It was Travis Hunter, Drake London, and Rashee Rice. That's what it was.
Yeah,
for Justin Jefferson, Emeka Egbuka, and Chris Olave. That's what the deal was.
Yeah. Also, my bench is actually hilarious in this league.
My team has not fallen off. Get the fuck out of here.
That's such a nice rage bait. He knew you'd fall for
it
that.
was, yeah. Up against Pitts. Am I overthinking super flex by not playing Caleb? Yeah, you got to play Caleb Williams over. I mean, we'll see what your position players are, but I can't imagine they're better than Caleb Williams.
Have you seen the gross tight ends I'm rostering in that list in the league because of the fucking premium?
Yeah, I have seen that. Okay, this is a real question from Tango Yankee. Do you play any of these position players that are currently in his flex here over Caleb Williams playing against the Cleveland Browns? You play Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, Devin Neal.
Not good enough options for me to sit.
No, I don't think so. And are these the right two flexes? Christian Watson, Devontae Smith, or you play Rico Dowdle? Like Rico is my highest ranked running back of that group, so he would be the one that would be the closest for me. And
Watson's not leaving my lineup.
I personally would play Rico Dowdle over Christian Watson.
Nah.
I'll leave it as is because it's close and it's probably not close for me or for you. I mean, so I'll leave.
I like Rico a lot, but dude,
I would say Rico. I think that Rico gets hot in games where the teams can't defend zone runs and the Saints can't defend zone.
Trust me, I love Rico Dowdle. I just think you're severely underplaying just how good Watson's been.
I have, like I am, but Christian
Watson been a wide receiver one in points per game.
Wide receiver 3.
He's been a wide receiver 1 in points per game since coming back, Corey. You can't call him a volatile wide receiver 3 if he's playing like a wide receiver.
Okay. Quentin Johnston, the first month of the season, was also a wide receiver 1 in points per game, and now is a volatile wide receiver 3.
100%. The difference is that Justin Herbert is throwing for less than 200 yards every single game. Jordan Love's a top 5 MVP candidate right now.
Not at Denver.
2.5 points at Denver, bro. Respectfully, the market is still viewing this offense as high.
You're right. By the way, too, I will put my dick on the table. But that Denver plus 2.5 is the most disrespectful line I've seen all season. Denver at home plus 2.5 against the Packers. They are winning that game. They're the number 1 seed in the fucking AFC right now.
See, I disagree. That's the biggest trap line I've ever seen in my life. A lot of people are going to take the minus 2.5 or plus 2.5 for Denver, and Green Bay is going to go in there and win by a touchdown.
Maybe. I think it's the easiest bet I've seen all season is Denver plus 2.5 at home today.
And by the way, Scribbles, he 100% is running hot on touchdowns. The thing is, though, my counter, the 6'4", 210, 4.3 speed wide receiver is inherently going to score deep touchdowns. That's why I like him. That's why everybody likes Jameson Williams. Like, what's the difference between Christian Watson and Jameson Williams?
Patrick Surtain and the Broncos defense.
No doubt. Pat Surtain's been good. They've been a complete pass funnel since the last month. Sorry.
Pat Surtain's played one of those games, dude.
100%. Even last week, dude, Denver's run defense is the problem, and Josh Jacobs is banged up. I genuinely just think Christian Watson's being disrespected.
Sure.
Like, he's legitimately the clear number 1 on this team.
Well, welcome to Christian Watson's week. We've been only talking about Christian Watson most of the week.
Dude, I'm going to peddle Christian Watson until he gets his respect, man, because the guy's genuinely been playing some of the best football in the league.
Yeah. Again, Tango Yankee, I would go Dowdle and Smith. Danny would go Watson and Smith.
I do really like Dowdle, though, so it hurt. But, like Watson's a top 18 guy for me.
My wide receiver room is in shambles without T.
Apologies, AZ. We're passionate guys, and we
Debo Samuel, Jaden Reed, or Luther Burden. Who are you going with? I'm probably going Debo there.
Debo, yeah.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, shadow coverage doesn't mean he's going to be on him the whole time. It's just enough for me to deter the fact that I don't really want to play him. In the flex here, you're going Javonte over all these options pretty easily. It looks like he already started Chris Godwin and Baker Mayfield, so he's in pretty decent shape in his matchup because Mayfield scored like 22 and Godwin scored like 14. So you're in pretty good shape there, Animal. Yeah. T. Carlson has his lineup set, but I guess double checking here. He doesn't have Christian Watson in. I guess the only question here is you're definitely not starting Tracy over either of these running backs, so those are definitely fine. Are you starting Watson over Hampton? I guess. And if you guys stop submitting questions about Christian Watson, we won't talk about him anymore.
Even though I am high on Christian Watson, this is actually a conversation because I do have Hampton, as my RB20 this week. I do prefer Watson, but I know for a fact that you're going to have Hampton and Watson a lot further spread than I do. So you're probably going to say Hampton.
Yeah. And Thomas, I just saw your question. Go with Drake. You said, help me. I feel like you're desperate. So I felt like I threw you a bone there.
Everybody's going to start saying, help me now.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know why. I felt very nice there. I felt very nice. So I said Drake in the chat.
The empath.
Yes, I would start Drake May. I know you have Burrow, but I'm still starting Drake May. Or I know you have Chase, sorry, but I'm still starting Drake May over Burrow. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Hampton would be mine. I'm assuming Watson would be yours. That's pretty straightforward.
Now everybody's saying, help me.
Help me. Help me. Death on the line. Anyways, opponent scored 65 with Bijan and Pitts. Oof, dude. Oof.
Give me Kobe, bro. You can't say Herbert throwing
for less. Justin Herbert, dude.
He's throwing for less than 200 yards
on the line. We're not taking Justin Herbert as a quarterback to just have a great game.
It's not about just as a quarterback, dude. Have you seen how little volume he's had?
I have seen.
He hasn't thrown for over 250 yards since week 9, bro. You can't start
Watch me.
You can't start him over Jacoby Brissett.
Watch me.
Dude. You can't, dude.
Watch me.
He's hurt. He hasn't thrown for over
Jacoby Brissett, dude.
He hasn't thrown for over 160 yards in 3 games, bro.
If Jacoby Brissett has fucking 30 fantasy points, I'm gonna have to hide under a rock. But there's no fucking way I'm starting him, dude. I'm not starting him.
It's Jacoby Brissett, bro. You can't start Herbert if he's throwing the ball for 150 yards or less.
Remember when we disagree on this? I would start Herbert. Danny would start Brissett. Sorry for being of no help to you. Next question. Next question. We can keep going. Devontae Smith.
It's far more anti-Herbert than pro-Brissett at this point, dude. Well, Herbert's not throwing the ball.
Here's the other thing that factors in. He's down 65. He has Ladd McConkey, who's going to make this question for me. And he needs ceiling. So having Herbert and McConkey with no Quentin Johnston out there, to me, is how you make up some of those points.
If you want to go pure upside, hoping Herbert magically heals and throws the ball more, sure. But, dude, he hasn't tossed over 160 yards in 3 games.
I'm aware.
Fuck. Herbert should be a lot better, but he isn't.
Walker 2891 here. Kenneth Walker is in his question, but RJ Harvey's gonna be the first one. Are you going Walker or Breece Hall?
Ken Walker actually just moved him above.
Yeah, I also have him ahead. And then in the flex, yeah, you're playing Puka, St. Brown, and Lamb, dude. Ew, that's gross.
Wow.
Jay Smith has his lineup set already, but I guess double checking what he has. He didn't play Mike Evans, which sucks, but I probably wouldn't have either, given the options that you have.
I guess the only contentious pick here would be Diggs versus Devin Neal.
It wouldn't be contentious for me.
Where do you have them both ranked?
I have Diggs as a top 24 wide receiver, and Neal is outside of my top 24 at running back. So,
I have Neal as my RB 22, and I have Diggs as my RB wide receiver 29.
Yeah.
In a full PPR, that evens out for me. But if there's a big difference for you, I don't mind capitulating.
Yeah. We got 18 questions in 15 minutes. So
let's go.
We shall boogie.
We shall indeed.
Jelenius here. Kenneth Walker versus Jaden Reed. Very cut and dry. I'm going Kenneth Walker there. No questions asked.
Yeah.
49ers or Bears defense. Cam Little or Fairbairn. 49ers defense going
against Niners against Titans.
Or Bears against the Browns.
Near 2 touchdown favorites at home. You have to go with the 49ers here.
Counterpoint, the Bears have been a better defense than the 49ers. The 49ers have been horrible on defense.
Correct. Closer spread game.
I think Shadur is more prone to sacks and turnovers, so I would go with Bears.
I mean, Cam Ward is pretty prone to those too.
Probably going to be very low scoring.
Cam Ward is pretty prone to those too.
I mean, he is, but he's been better the last month or so at limiting mistakes.
Let's be honest. These are probably 2 of the top 5 defenses on the week. I don't do defense rankings. I'm sure you do, but I
do. I can tell you where they're ranked for me. In my defense rankings, these rank.
They both got to be top 5, right?
The Bears are my defense 6, and the 49ers, my defense 7. So that is where I have them ranked respectively. And Cam Little is a top 3 kicker for me this week against the Jets. He is definitely my answer there, but I do love Fairbairn's top 5 kicker for me. So they're both very good options.
Those guys can boot pigskins.
Yeah, they can. Mike Evans, you didn't play probably, which sucks now knowing that T. Higgins didn't play.
But McLaurin. I didn't even see him.
McLaurin versus Diggs is a toss-up, dude, for me. They're so close.
I got McLaurin pretty significantly higher.
Okay. I'll capitulate on McLaurin, but I have Diggs and McLaurin very close. Are you starting Diggs over probably RJ Harvey would be the highest ranked running back here?
Go Harvey.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
Dan with another question here. Wide receiver, Devontae Smith, Jennings, Odunze, Brian Thomas. That's pretty easily Devontae Smith for me there. And then in the flex, Jennings, BTJ, and maybe you talk yourself into Bill here, but I'd probably just roll with Jennings.
I would go with Jennings. I would honestly say Bill versus Jennings would be the toss-up, but I go with Jennings because actually, I mean, I may as well put this in the background while we get to comments, but he was one of my picks on the wide receiver tier list.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try and get to our picks by 12:55, but let's make sure we get everyone's questions answered. It's not the end of the world if we don't get to our picks here. Marion Hampton, Woody Marks. Woody's no Nick Chubb. That's a really good matchup. The Cardinals 27th against fantasy running backs. Pretty straightforward. Quarterbacks here. It looks like a super flex league. I would sit Bryce Young. I'd go with Caleb Williams and Bo Nix of those options. I get the matchup kind of sucks for Caleb Williams, but I probably wouldn't mess with Bryce Young over him. Ferguson, Fant, Mayer, and Njoku. Njoku's out. Fant, maybe sees an upgrade with no T. Higgins. I'd probably just go with the 55-point over-under game. I think we answered this question for Ethan on Thursday already, but I'd go with Terrence Ferguson just for the upside that he
said something in chat. Quick Six, if you're still in chat, let me know. I saw you in chat earlier. I'm not sure if you're still in. Yeah, okay. Please do not take 10 minutes on this question, please. Oh, okay, right, because he probably just submitted his question.
Yeah, he probably just submitted and wanted his question answered.
Fair enough.
Anyways, we can keep going. Bill, definitely the best option of these guys now that he's going to be starting. And then last part of this question is going to be Rashid Shaheed versus Kayshon Boutte probably, or are you just playing Rome? Are you just going to play Rome and be like, screw it, I'll see what happens here? Or are you going to go Shaheed or something over him? I think I would just play Rome.
What tight ends are there?
Tight ends are the bad tight ends. He has bad tight ends.
Right. Yeah, just go Rome and plug your nose.
Yeah, go with Rome and hope for the best. I mean, if you want to get gutty and go with Shaheed, you could. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, if the snaps were there, I'd feel more comfortable about it.
Judy versus Yoshi Voss versus Slayton. I'm gonna go Judy there. They're
Where do you have them ranked?
They are. I have Slayton at 49, and I have Judy at 45.
I have Slayton at 36. I have Judy at 46.
You love some volatile deep threats, apparently.
Fuck yeah, bro. At home against Washington, the single worst defense against the pass. Darius Slayton has been a full-time player in terms of snaps in each of the last 2 weeks. And it's funny because he was also one of my picks on the pick'em. I'll just quickly mention it.
We can't, Danny. Okay. We have like 10 more questions.
Higher than 33.5 receiving yards.
Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, going with Dak there. Watson versus Brian Thomas. Look, you got a question through that I answer Christian Watson on. There you go. Congratulations, chat.
Finally.
Brian Thomas and Woody Marks are going. Whoops, sorry. Woody Marks going to definitely be one. I guess BTJ versus Swift. He didn't actually say Swift here, but Swift is probably the other. I'd probably play Swift over Brian Thomas.
I would go Swift. I'd go Swift. Technically speaking, you could even just say Bears running back. I'd prefer Swift to Menengai, but I could also see somebody like preferring Menengai this week because it kind of feels like a Menengai spot. But
not loving my options here. Okay, we'll see what we can do here. Jake Ferguson's playing, so I'm rolling with Jake Ferguson there. Hampton versus nobody that I would actually start over. Jalen Warren and Hampton probably the answer here.
Probably a little bit concerning that Gainwell's made it a little bit more of a committee, but I think you got to go Warren.
Yeah, he's still consistently getting like 15 touches a game. Both Gainwell and Warren are like, if there was only one of them, they'd be like a 25 point per game running back. But because there's both of them, they each score 10 to 12 points a week. Like, it's really annoying. They're like games the Seahawks running backs, where it's like, yeah, I would love if Kenneth Walker or Charbonnet was the lead back here, just so we knew. But each of them score like 8 to 15 points every game.
Dude, I finally checked my sleeper to set some lineups, and like every fucking league, there's just like multiple trades that went down.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of trades going through at the buzzer. Opponent played Pitts, hoping to swing back hard. Okay, so you got to go big here. I go Marcus Mariota pretty easily here with the quarterback decision. Wide receiver
upside. I wish I could say Travis Hunter. Payne.
Probably DJ Moore here, unfortunately.
I kind of like Vele.
I don't like him more than Moore, but I don't.
Yeah,
DJ Moore is so bad that I don't care enough to say that. Yeah, you're totally wrong about that.
They're both like they're wide receiver 42 and fucking 47 for me. I have Vele higher, but like
I thought for a second there was a possibility I could get one of these wide receivers into the wide receiver spot, but that is not the case. So yeah, unfortunately, you're not in great shape there. BM Rakes here. Matthew Stafford, very few quarterbacks. In fact, there's only two that I would start over him. Bijan, I'm sure, was in your lineup.
I'm sure Bucky was probably in your lineup, but if not, then you go Javonte.
Yeah, I'm going to just play it as if he was, because I'm sure he probably was. But if he wasn't, well, yeah, you would have gone Javonte in that situation. You're going to go Adams and Pickens with the receivers.
Yep.
And then Javonte with the last one here. Yeah. But again, if for whatever reason you sat Bucky Irving, the last player I would play in this question is probably, actually, I would play Kelsey over Jawan as well.
Yeah.
The last player I would play in this question is probably Breece Hall.
Yeah, I think I would agree there.
Saquon Barkley versus the rest of these guys. Yeah, I'm rolling with Saquon over these options here. And then in the flex, you going Jacoby Myers. You going? I think Swift is the only guy that's in this conversation.
Full PPR,
still going Myers over Swift.
Yeah, full PPR. Still go with Myers. The risk is that they get up early because they're 2 touchdown favorites against the Jets. But you're kind of just
getting up early is one of my one of the things I've learned is one of the least important things.
Oh, for sure. Because
like getting up early also means you're scoring, which means you could score.
Well, that's what I talked about in the wide receiver tier list. I'm like, there could be the risk that if they get up early via the ground game, that he gets isolated out of the matchup because they don't have to throw the football. Right. But I also said counterpoint, if they get up early, he could contribute because he scored in the last 3 games.
Yeah. Not to mention too, like the truly shit ran cold for you. They got up early and rested their starters in the second half or whatever. How many games per NFL season does that actually happen? 5?
I was gonna say you can probably count it on 1 or 2 hands.
Yeah, like the game where I'm trying to think, like the Bills blew the doors off the Panthers for by 40 points. Like it doesn't happen very often. People think, oh, they're a good team, they're gonna demolish a bad team. It's like that doesn't usually happen. Even if you win by 14 points, it's only gonna affect like the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Well, that's the thing about the NFL. It's such a fucking close league, anyways. Like. In college, you will have lines where people are favored by 30 points. The NFL, the worst line you will ever see is how many lines have you seen?
Jaguars are 14-point favorites against the Jets this week. That's pretty as bad as it gets. Like I've 17, 18 I've seen, but it's not often that you see that. I've never seen a 20-point favorite. I've never seen it.
I have before. It was the Packers one year. They were 20-plus point favorites. I believe it was the year they went 15-1. The year after the Super Bowl, they were 20-plus point favorite.
Okay. I think the one year that the Ravens were really good too, the 2019 Ravens, they were favored by 20 over Miami. The Dolphins that year. Yeah, I think that was another one that I've seen. But anyways, these last couple questions we'll make sure we get through in time. Dalton Kincaid is going to easily be my flex here. I think I would much rather play Dalton Kincaid over all these options. Question is, who is your other option here? Do you go with Adonai Mitchell? It's Brady Cook, not ideal. Zach Charbonnet, hope he scores a touchdown. Colston Loveland, getting good usage. Or Troy Franklin without Pat Bryant. I actually think I would go Troy Franklin without Pat Bryant.
It would be between him and Loveland for me. And I'd probably lean tight end 11 versus wide receiver 41. That's probably about equal in my rankings. Yeah, if you want to lean cold weather, maybe you go Franklin. That's close.
I think I'd go Franklin with no Brian out there. I think I also talked about this. My stat of the game for the Packers and Broncos game was that the zone heavy defenses, which the Packers are number one. What?
Rome Odunze last second ruled out.
Oh shit! Okay, everybody.
Last second.
Rome Odunze is out. He is out for this game. Sorry, I'm saying it Canadian like, but. He is out for this game. He's out. So how Americans say it. He is not in there.
He is not indeed active.
So yes, get Romo Dunze out of your lineup ASAP if you guys started him.
Holy shit, that was last second news. Thank God I was on my phone. Sorry, I was setting some lineups and I noticed it. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, that is pretty crazy that happened last second.
Wow. He aggravated it in warmups apparently. That's fucking insane. So anybody that we told to sit Luther Bird and stonk up.
Yeah, that's pretty wild actually. Carbonator, if you are in the chat, I just sent you a response to your Travis Kelce offer. Let me know what you think.
Let me ask you this. Odunze now out. Are you going with Menengai or Luther Burden with no Odunze on the field?
I would go with Luther Burden in that situation.
I think I would too.
With Luther Burden now out, are you going with DJ Moore or Bill?
Probably go Bill against the Giants just because DJ Moore with him out last week at 0.
Yeah, his projection's higher on Sleeper as well.
Wow, that was
I have DJ Moore. I think I have Rome Odunze in one league. Sorry, I apologize if we're not getting to your questions immediately, but like lineups. I have Rome Odunze in a playoff matchup that I need to get him out of my lineups.
I do as well.
Fred Franklin in to swap him in my list. Like I'm not going to win the listener redraft league or the listener dyno because Danny's team went undefeated in the regular season, but I want to win my matchup ideally.
Yeah, and then we will literally speed run these last couple.
Yeah. We're not going to get to our underdog picks, but that's fine.
We won't. That's fine. We could even say it after the buzzer if we have to.
Yeah, honestly. After the buzzer, we'll say our underdog picks. Then it doesn't matter as much. Jaden Higgins or Alec Pierce?
Jaden Higgins, Alec Pierce, Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, I'll go with Jaden as well. Brenton Strange, Jake Ferguson. We already had the conversation. You would go Strange. I would go Ferguson, but it's close. If you want to lean away from the injury, you could. Alec Pierce or Brenton Strange in the flex. I'm going Strange.
Wow, Carbonator was the one who made the deal with you?
What's up?
Carbonator made a deal with you?
Yep.
Hey, there you go.
Beautiful. He gave me a depleted rookie second and a Devi third, I think it is, for Travis Kelce and Kamani Vidal. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, no, for sure. I play against him. We'll see if he's going to start Kelce over Ingram now.
Crease, I'm not sure filled out this properly. I will send you a voucher, Crease. If you can get it in the buzzer, go nuts. If not, I'm sorry, it was not filled out properly. So I'm not able to answer that. C3 fly, tight end, Kincaid versus Warren. Again, if you want to do the thing, higher. Warren got me there. I'm going to play Warren. Go nuts.
I'm going Kincaid.
Kincaid's higher in my rankings. I would play Kincaid. Might not matter. You might flex both, but let's see here. Woody Marks is going to be in one of your flexes, and it doesn't matter because I would start Warren in the other flex. Or without Quentin Johnson, would you start Tyler Warren or Quentin Johnson or Keenan Allen? Sorry,
Tyler Warren.
Keenan Allen is the other option that he has here with no Quentin Johnson.
I still go Warren, bro. Just talent diff.
Yeah, agreed. AJ here, Marcus Mariota or Trevor Lawrence. I would go with Trevor Lawrence, but that is very close for me in my rankings. Wide receiver, Christian Watson, Luther Burden, Jacoby Myers. I would go with Jacoby Myers. Danny would go with Christian Watson, I would assume. I think they're both going to find the lineup anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Along with Burden?
Judkins
too.
Judkins and Genty are in over Christian Watson for me. And I'm assuming you would just not start Myers and play Watson instead.
Well, I have Watson at 18, Myers at 20, so I'm sure there's a bigger difference between Myers being higher for you. So yeah, well, and that's the last question.
Would you start Myers though over one of the running backs in the flex if you're starting Watson in the wide receiver spot?
Probably just go both running backs. Do you have any more comments or questions?
I think there might be one or two more if I'm not mistaken.
No, 12:59. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure we were caught up. We did it. There was a lot of distractions, but we got through it. I love Burden. And actually, I'm going to move him up. He was wide receiver 35 with the context that Odunze was playing. I said on the wide receiver tier list, if Odunze's out, he would be a fringe top 25 wide receiver for me. My expectation for Luther Burden is right around the BTJ Diggs Debo Samuel range at the back end of my top 30.
Okay, well, I don't have those guys all in the same territory. I have them around BTJ, but I have Debo a little bit lower than that, and I have Diggs way higher than that. So we're kind of not on the same page with a lot of these things.
That's perfectly reasonable. That's where I'm at. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And
quick underdog picks while we're doing this here. Did you put yours in, or are these mine?
These are mine. Okay. Was
it this one?
Yeah, I'll just talk about it now. As I mentioned, I love the Juwan Jennings higher 9.05. He's gone higher than this in 4 of his last 5 games. He's averaged 10 half PPR points per game since week 7 or 8, I believe it was. So been consistent. Tennessee, very much a pass funnel as of recent. So I do think that the 49ers fighting for their playoff lives, Juwan Jennings, consistent touchdown equity in that team. I do like going the road of the fantasy points because maybe sometimes even if he has a 4 for 40, we know he has touchdown equity. AJ Brown higher than 11.35, pretty simple. Raiders pass funnel defense. AJ Brown been playing extremely good football.
I got 2 to do as well, so you got to speed this up.
Yeah. That's all I'll say on that then. Darius Slayton higher than 33.5 receiving yards. He's a top 36 wide receiver for me. Washington cannot cover the pass, and Darius Slayton is the clear deep threat on that Giants team. And finally, Nico Collins higher than 77.5 receiving yards. He's been a legitimate alpha since coming back, over 9 targets per game, 96.17 receiving yards. So getting the projection at 77.5 feels quite nice.
There you go. I'm rolling with Derrick Henry's rushing yards. Bengals are terrible against the run, as we've known. Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, shadow coverage against Stingley, so I'm going to play that through McBride. Justin Herbert, interceptions thrown. I like him to throw a pick in this game just because the Chiefs, cold weather. Justin Herbert's playing through the hand injury. It's not a great setup for him. And then Devontae Smith receiving yards. I talked about that in the Matchups That Matter video, the zone coverage, man coverage splits. When you play a zone-heavy defense, it's a Smith game. When you play a man-heavy defense, it's an A.J. Brown game typically. So, and the Raiders, are second in the NFL in zone coverage overall. Yep. And then I believe this was my running back one as well. Trevion Henderson, longest rush. Bills allowing a lot of explosive runs, second most in the NFL. Quinshon Judkins, fantasy points. He's going to get 25 touches in this game with no Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson. And then Rico Dowdle, 58.5 rushing yards. When he gets hot, which typically happens against defenses that are bad zone rushing defenses, he just rushes for like 100 plus yards. So I will take Rico Dowdle there. Those are the picks that we're rolling with. Good luck to everybody in their matchups. Hopefully you take your matchup down. And hopefully we see you next week for week 16 stuff. We're going to be shuffling some stuff around a little bit because of the Saturday games. There's going to be Saturday games next week. There's 2 games on Saturday. So Danny is going to post his wide receiver tier list Friday. Matchups That Matter will be on Thursday. Running back tier list Saturday morning. And then the week of Christmas, Matchups That Matter will be on Wednesday because there's 3 games on Christmas, 2 games on Saturday that week. And then Danny will post wide receiver tier list on Friday. I will post running back tier list probably Saturday morning or Friday night. So just to give you guys a little scheduling changes. And then the quarterback and tight end tier lists will be earlier in the week, probably Wednesday for both weeks, if not Tuesday for the Christmas week as well. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Good luck in your matchups. Hopefully you take it down. Hopefully your best ball teams advance, all that good stuff. Good luck. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.
I have a ton of burden.
Yes, sir.